steam trains would stop me, humans. Well, domination is mine!
This week on Click, Toys, Toys, Toys. We'll try out the games that combine play with learning. And if you thought school was monstrous, wait till you see what's going on in this classroom. We're in Munich to see how the cars of tomorrow will be built and how the same tech could help you fix yours if you break down. The car, that is, not you. And we'll find out if it's possible to play music with your mind. All that, plus the latest tech news and the hottest picks of the week, all in one place in Webscape. Yeah, as it says on the helicopter, welcome to Click. I'm Spencer Kelly. This week, it's playtime. We've swooped in on London's biggest toy box. This is the Toy Fair at Kensington Olympia. It's a 22,000 square metre playground where the big kids hawk their latest top secret R&D creations and the new intake pitch their newest, potentially game-changing ideas. Some will conquer the world, some will fail to bite. And a growing trend with many of the innovations here is the focus on education. Now, toys are supposed to be fun, of course, but slipping in a bit of learning here and there is no bad thing. Whether it's building your own telescope, microscope and binoculars by combining different lenses, a solar-powered boat or a self-balancing robot, we all do learn better through play. For example, this is designed to get kids interested in electronics and building electrical circuits. Today we're going to do exercise number 67, which is building a Frankenstein-style police siren. Right, here we go. Right, ready? It's alive! And how do you make old classics like chess and puzzle games appealing to kids of the tablet generation? Well, with lasers, of course. This single-player laser maze game challenges kids to solve a variety of logic puzzles by bouncing a laser off a series of mirrors, although I'm pretty sure I already have an app that does the same thing. Now, it's all well and good having these educational toys at home, but I suppose the worry is that when your child goes to school, learning there is going to be a whole lot more boring. Well, that's a problem Richard Taylor's been looking into. He's visited a project that aims to gamify an entire classroom.
Tracking Kimberly.
Let's go, Kimberly.
Kimberly.
These 9-year-olds are used to unconventional classroom management. For San Jose school teacher Ari Weiss, it's essential to get it right.
Classroom management is a huge time suck as a teacher. As a teacher, I spent the first 6 months of learning how to be a teacher, dealing with my classroom, and I'm still learning how to do that.
But now she has another tool in her arsenal, Class Dojo. It's software which replaces the carrot and stick with points and monsters.
Teachers sign up for Class Dojo, it's free. They then pick the kinds of behaviours that they'd like to award or build. And then when the teachers see something positive happening, they can then say, Johnny, that was a great example of teamwork.
And does any of this work on...
And the two Brits who released the software here in San Francisco last year are now seeing the fruits of their labour. Today, Class Dojo is in 120 countries, influencing 17 million students, including those of Miss Weiss. All the points generate lots and lots of data, which experts say can be extremely valuable in tracking pupils' progress over time. Bo Thompson finds the point system useful for managing his class of 12-year-olds with special educational needs. He'll encourage good behaviour, but where necessary, he'll mete out punishment too.
So with these students, there's a lot of different problems of focus. They like to move around a lot. There's a lot of hyperactivity. Just redirections don't always work, and the fact that when I can start now implementing, all right, well, I've warned you 2 times to stay in your seat. If you continue to get out of your seat and walk around, then I'm going to have to take a point away. And that means a lot more to them. Hey, Joshua, if I see you throw one more thing, we're losing a point.
Well, I think of it like as a competition. I really like it because we get to like competition with other kids. It's fun, and at the end we win prizes.
Everybody's a little kind of competitive for those points.
Okay, so we get the picture. It's competitive, but is it healthy?
We've chosen not to focus on making it a competition. So there's no ranking in Class Dojo, there's no leaderboard, there's no swapping points for toys. You know, we don't do those things. And the reason is that they're not helpful.
But clearly, teachers are using the software as they see fit. And in many classrooms, points do make prizes.
At the end of the day, if the class is good, pretty much good the whole entire class period, I'll say I'm opening up the store. At that point in time, students can exchange their points like money. 5 points is equal to 1 fruit snack.
That's 5.
And then at 20, the one that I thought wouldn't be as big of a deal, but students have really bought into, is the positive phone call home with a fruit snack. Students have been saving points just for that.
It's like with anything, if you put new power into the hands of a user, whether it's a teacher or a student or a parent, that power comes with the responsibilities and the knowledge base that needs to go with it.
Richard Taylor in the United States. Meanwhile, back here at the London Toy Fair, a fairy that hovers above your hand or anything else that its infrared sensor detects directly below it. As you can tell, I'm still yet to take my fairy driving test. Miniature flying devices like this are a big trend this year at the Toy Fair. Take a look at this. This is the Revell Nano Quad. According to its creators, it's the smallest quadcopter on sale in the world. It weighs just over 11 grams, about the same as a pencil or two, and fits in the palm of your hand. Tiny toys like this owe their Lilliputian dimensions to advances in smartphone technology. The miniature motors powering each of the 4 blades started out as smartphone vibration motors, and the lightweight digital gyroscope that keeps it stable in the air, well, that's also used to stabilise your photos. One tech that hasn't caught up though is the battery. Half an hour of charging gets you a measly 5 minutes of fly time. OK, next up, this week's tech news.
Google has promised to make significant changes to the way its competitors appear in European search results following a 3-year investigation by the European Commission. Google had been accused of giving favourable treatment to its own products. They have promised to now give prominent placement to other companies in some searches in order to avoid a multi-billion-euro fine. Microsoft's announced company veteran Satya Nadella will be its next chief executive. Outgoing exec Steve Ballmer had seen Microsoft's fortunes decline during his 14-year tenure, with the company losing out to rivals like Apple. Video footage of Britain's top-secret drone project has been revealed. Tyrannus, named after the Celtic god of thunder, is said to be the most advanced aircraft ever built in Britain. This video shows a test flight of the drone over a secret location. Tyrannus uses the latest stealth technology and is capable of launching precision airstrikes in hostile territory. The drone can be operated via satellite link from anywhere in the world. And finally, North Korea's homegrown operating system, Red Star OS, seems to have had a makeover. The latest version of the software, leaked to the North Korea tech blog, has ditched the old Microsoft Windows style, opting instead for a design that looks suspiciously similar to Apple's Mac operating system. Hopefully, Microsoft won't be too upset by the apparent snub.
We've been looking at educational toys here at the London Toy Fair, and the next thing I found is taking a bit of getting used to. While I get my head around the controls, LJ Rich has been using nothing but her head to produce something that sounds very sweet indeed.
When you think about it, all compositions start in someone's brain, but any composer knows there are quite a few steps between your mental musical musings and the finished performance. So, what better way to short-circuit the creative process than to stick a brain cap on your head and use technology to help extract the magic?
We have some electrodes that are going to be placed on your scalp. You can see they're a bit spiky, these, and these are going to measure the electrical activity inside your brain.
Lovely. The main electrode is at the back of my head. It's going to pick out the electrical activity in my visual cortex. The brain cap's on quite tightly to make sure that the contacts are nice and constant. So in order to start performing, I have to compose my thoughts before composing my thoughts. The idea is to choose one of 4 checkered patterns to concentrate on. They all flicker at different rates. When I concentrate on a particular pattern, my visual cortex should create a sympathetic electrical signal that will be picked up by the brain cap and sent to the computer. My chosen pattern corresponds to a musical phrase, and this is sent to a screen in front of Jane, our professional cellist. She will then play it. It sounds difficult because it is. Now, OK, I'm not composing individual notes, I'm choosing from ready-made phrases. Having said that, it still feels fantastic, like I'm using the force to make music. Professor Eduardo Miranda has been working on what he calls music neurotechnology for over a decade. He plans to mash up a string quartet with 4 extra brains to perform a piece called Activating Memory at this year's Peninsula Arts Contemporary Music Festival. And the prof enjoys composing consciously, a bit too much to let the brain take over completely.
Humans like to manipulate things, to craft and so on, and I think there is something very special with that. I do not wish to eliminate that. I want to enhance, to create tools that will help composers to achieve that, perhaps in different ways.
It normally takes a few days' practice to crack the mystery of how to play the phrases, but once I'd calmed down, I was able to control the system with just a couple of hours under my belt. Right at the end, I finally got the hang of what I was expected to do. It's a really odd feeling, because if you get too excited, you lose the signal that you're trying to convey. Musical performances aside, there's obvious potential here, not least for people with mobility problems. The system actually works better the less you move. My lifelong wish for a precision, direct, high-speed brain-composing device still looks to be a long way off. For a start, this rig costs around £9,000, not to mention the difficulty in mapping the composition process. But even a taste of elementary brain control is a truly mind-blowing experience.
LJ Rich there with quite possibly a prelude to an entire brain symphony. Back here at the London Toy Fair, this is the Thames and Cosmos concept car, and it's a game in 3 stages. First, you build one of 8 vehicles from the same parts. Next, you learn to control your ride over Wi-Fi via the accompanying app, and that's when things get really cool. Viewed through your mobile device, the app recognises each of these augmented reality markers as a different 3D model of a building, creating a virtual cityscape for you to navigate. Using the programming feature of the app, you can design a route for your vehicle around the city and then sit back and watch it navigate on its own. Of course, it might require a few tweaks. Oops, okay, right, that's enough of that. Now, augmented reality isn't just being used by the creators of toy cars, it's also being employed by the actual car industry to create the next breed of actual cars. Dan Simmons was given rare access to Audi's top secret prototype garage in Germany, although I'm not actually sure he made it there.
Even new cars need a little bit of tender love and care now and again, and the oil indicator just come up. I think it's the oil indicator that tells me that I obviously need to do something. Now, that wouldn't ordinarily be a problem. It's just that I'm not really sure how to do that.
Yeah, I think it's the oil. Oh, carburettor, yeah, it could be the carburettor, or the flywheel.
Short of a car manual in a glove box, I'm now left with 2 options: to call breakdown services and talk them through the problem.
Or I could use a pair of these.
Munich-based Mataio is developing this app for the forthcoming Google Glass eyewear. It identifies what's under the hood and explains what needs doing. We're using a phone screen to show you what I can see. In this case, it's a straightforward oil top-up that's needed, so the app positions the relevant graphics in the eyewear, leaving my hands free to complete the job. This tech could be useful for changing a wheel, diagnosing more serious problems, or training up mechanics to more accurately time their tutting and sharp intakes of breath before quoting a three-figure sum without the VAT. But augmented reality isn't just handy for drivers. I'm back on my way to visit the company that's leading the way in using AR. Welcome to Ingolstadt, known as Audi City. 35,000 people work here, and it's Audi's research HQ. It's so secret our mobile phones have been confiscated. We're not even allowed to show you what's inside. OK, we can show you a bit. Inside building T32, engineers are using their new toy. They need to know this demonstration model is going to work, not just when they fire it up, but in 5 or 10 years' time. So they're checking that the design plans match exactly what they can see. And that's where augmented reality comes into play. Overlaid on top of the car parts is where things ought to be. The system relies on 18 cameras to calibrate the position of the whole car in virtual space to within a few millimetres. A special camera then identifies what it's pointing at, and a computer overlays precisely where things should be. Green shows all is well, but the red cable isn't following its designated route. It could be faulty or be touching another engine part, leading to excessive wear and tear. That could result in a failure or even cause an accident further down the road. The system's also useful for previewing design updates, like a new front bumper. Very voorsprong Dirk.
It's really great. It's a real benefit for us. Another department of Audi was jealous, and they want to have a system like this as well.
Envy isn't a bad thing. When this R8 racer was first built, it would have been checked by eye. Now, for the price of 5 of these, Audi says the new system halves the time it takes to get a prototype on the road. Before I return the rental car, I want to show you a new app for drivers, eKurz Info, that also uses AR. Really handy if, like me, you're hiring a car and you're unfamiliar with all the buttons inside.
Oh, horn selection.
Dan Simmons. And Dan isn't the only one who finds driving a challenge. Hello there. This is the Scarabee. It's a car that's remote controlled using your tablet. It talks to the tablet through Wi-Fi direct. It can get up to speeds of 15 kilometers an hour, but I think more interestingly, it can stream the footage from the video camera on its nose to the tablet, so you can see where you're driving and even take photos as you explore. In fact, you might want to upload some of those photos to the web using Kate's first website this week. Here comes Webscape.
That would make a pretty good animated GIF, Spencer. You could even become an internet meme. Surely every tech presenter's dream. If you want to have even more fun browsing the latest viral images, though, head over to Imager, a fun social community for commenting, posting and voting on all the hot pics of the week. Facebook users have to date posted over 250 billion images on the website, and that number increases at a rate of around 250,000 every minute. At those volumes, keeping tab on all of the must-see memes of the week is an impossibility without the help of a database like this. From crazy dog photos to an animated GIF teaching the correct way to moonwalk. The only theme on this site is popularity, which often means complete hilarity, but might not always be to everyone's taste. If you come across an offensive image, you can request to have it deleted. The comments can also be pretty funny, but they are unmoderated, so expect bad language and trolling in buckets.
Bus ride.
Getting around on public transport is hard enough on home turf, but in a strange city it can be a nightmare. HopStop is a fantastic solution with a browser-based tool and apps for iPhone, iPad and on most other handsets through the mobile web application. It has the public transport information for over 300 of the world's busiest cities with an attractive, simple interface to plan your journey. The stop-by-stop itinerary can be texted, emailed or tweeted to you, so you can plan your journey whilst you're on a Wi-Fi connection and not eat up expensive roaming data allowances abroad. And I was in New York last year and used it to find my way around the subway. It gave me a lot more confidence to go out and explore the city without relying on expensive taxis. Last week, Google announced a cunning ploy to sap your productivity by partnering with Lego to create a completely addictive virtual playground in the form of Build with Chrome.
House. Yeah, she's mighty, mighty. I just letting it all hang out.
You'll need to log on with a Google account and then you can pick a plot of land anywhere on the planet and start constructing your Lego masterpiece. Now, whether that's a tower, a castle, or just a herd of plastic cows, the world is literally your toy box. Head over to the Build Academy if you want to sharpen your engineering skills with a set of tutorials. You can also check out what others have made to get a little inspiration. Apparently, there are 915 million different ways to combine 6 Lego bricks. I wonder how long it would take me to try them all.
House.
A different type of games, the Winter Olympics starts this week in Sochi, Russia. Catch all the BBC's live digital coverage, including radio, statistics and live text commentary on the dedicated website. There will also be 650 hours of live video from up to 6 simultaneous streams.
That's Kate Russell's Webscape, and all of Kate's links are available at our website, bbc.co.uk/click. And if you'd like to get in touch with us about anything you've seen today, we'd love to hear from you. Click at bbc.co.uk is our email address, and we're on Twitter, Google+, and Facebook too. That's it from the London Toy Fair, though. Time for me to head off into the sunset, and safety first. After all, this is a go-kart that can drift like this. Woohoo! Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.